Greetings, fellow gamers. I am your host, Brent Justice. Welcome back to my gaming channel, Justice Gaming. I am in Star Trek Resurgence today, ready for another hour of gameplay. Very excited to get into this game. Let me just give a quick introduction here before we begin. This will be again, continuing my full gameplay of this game. I'm doing a full playthrough of Star Trek Resurgence. And in the first game, let's just quickly summarize what happened. We're playing as two different people, Jara Rydek and Carter Diaz, I believe. So we are playing from the lower decks all the way up to commander or second command of the ship, which is very exciting that we get to have that, as I said before, dichotomy of lower end to higher end on the ship. We get both viewpoints. We're on the U.S.S. Resolute, which is a Centaur class ship, and we are a science vessel, and we are on our way to the Hotari system, I believe. We are going to pick up a diplomat, and there's an ion storm we have to worry about. It's growing, and there's problems there with that. I found out that the game has a lot of quick time movements, and you got to be really quick to do that. We also are going to have some combat, it looks like, with phasers and that sort of thing, so that should be fun. This is a third-person view kind of a game, which is fun as well, and it is story and narrative-driven, which means it's got branching choices, and I'm trying to make good choices, although I will say that probably they're not the best ones, but then the question is, what is the best one? So this is just my first playthrough of it, and these are the choices I'm making. I am sure that if I play it again in the future, which I definitely could, like I said, it's got high replayability, I can make different choices, and that could be a lot of fun to do, and I think I might like to do that. So subscribe if you want to see that, because this game is something I could definitely see myself playing again and making different choices with. But you do have to be kind of quick with the choices. They're on a timer, and that kind of sucks, but you got to live with that. I did also talk about the graphics a little bit. I looked into it just a little bit on the graphics side of things to try to tweak it the best I can for the PC. And right now, I looked at the game settings in the INI file just to see what they are set at, because it actually doesn't have graphics settings in the game. I went to the configuration file, and they're all at the maximum level, so I am at the highest graphics quality the game can have. I did do a couple of things, though, for the maybe the smoothness and frame rate of it. I turned off VSync because that was on, and then I set a max frame rate. Apparently, it might have had like a 30 FPS game lock or something like that. That's what I was reading, although maybe they changed that in the patch. I don't know, but just in case, I set the refresh rate, or set the FPS to the refresh rate of my monitor, so I hopefully should not be locked at 30 FPS anymore in the game, so maybe my movements with the mouse and all that will be a little bit smoother, which I'm hoping for, but that's about all I can do. Otherwise, image quality is going to be what it is. Okay, all of that said, let's jump into the game now. I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to choose our last thing here, and I'm hoping that it saved the spot where I left off of. That's what I don't know. There's no save game. There's no way for me to like do a quick save in the game, so I don't know if it's going to put me in the right spot, but I'm hoping it's going to put me right where I left off. So cast adrift, continue.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Hotari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
And it absolutely looks like we're plopping out right where we left off in the last video. That's good. Okay, we have asteroids already hitting us.
To meet the shuttle.
Wonderful.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
We are looking for the diplomat. We're meeting him.
Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Okay, so this is like, I need to figure out the movement I'm supposed to make. Oh, I'm supposed to go round and round to the left. Is that it? Really fast. Oh man, you should see me right now trying to do this. I'm like angrily twirling the mouse in
I've located the
circles.
shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Whoa, out of control.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer. We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Okay.
Diaz,
Let's go.
you good to run the tractor emitter?
Oh, great.
Yes, sir.
I have to work a tractor emitter.
I'm sure.
I swear something is up with him. Remember, we were hit by
Diaz.
we were hit by something, the ionic storm, right? I still think
First
something
thing,
is up.
Lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
I can go here. I just want to make sure my volumes are maxed out because I noticed it was a little bit low in the last video, but I do have all the volumes maxed out. I guess I could, you know what I need to do? I need to increase it in OBS. Let me see if I can do that without this crashing. Give me just a second here. Okay, I've increased it in OBS. I've got everything maxed out in the game. And I found out, too, that I guess the music volume is not going to be too much of a problem. So I'm going to kick that back up a little. And don't keep that up. So that we have a little bit of background music while we're playing. And we'll just adjust that if we need to. But I got everything else maxed out. Everything's good. Volume should be as good as I can make it anyway. Because everything is maxed out. Okay, now what do I need to do? Stabilize the shuttlecraft. Got to twist again.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Okay, I got it. This is one of these. Hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Oh wow, it's hard. Uh-oh, that one is coming up behind me, under me, under me, under me. Ah, crap. I think I hit it. I don't know what just happened. Oh, that one hit the starship. I was trying not to hit the shuttle.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Shield the shuttlecraft from the asteroid. Display trajectory of the asteroid. Plot an intercept course. W.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Oh my gosh.
Got it.
We hit it. But we're okay.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Refocus tractor beam. Bring them in. Man, they made us work for that one. Made us work.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Oh, look who it is. It's Spock.
Ambassador Spock. Captain, we'll
Makes
be right
sense,
down to
right?
meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
So let's talk about that then, because he's here, which means he didn't go back in time and save Vulcan. Are you okay? Welcome, or not save Vulcan. Are you okay?
That was a bumpy ride. Are you all right, sir?
There are some elements of space travel that I would prefer to have left in my youth. But I am, at present, unharmed by the ordeal. It appears
All right.
I have you to thank for my safe arrival.
Yes.
Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon.
I had some help.
if
Let's,
I may say so.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from
I'm
upstairs.
humble. I am humble.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable.
Oh?
So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all. Even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies.
Well, that's not good.
What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
I think maybe it's the storm. Probably the storm. I'm going to say that. I really feel that.
This storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever
There's
encountered.
something about this
Disrupted
storm.
other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Yeah, this is a
Take readings.
a
run some
mystery
additional
storm.
Diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom.
There is something mysterious about
Quite
this
logical.
storm.
Petty Officer,
Carter Diaz, sir.
thank you.
I have a feeling this storm ties into the
Ambassador
storyline.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Yeah, so this is obviously not the Spock that went back in time to the U.S.S. Kelvin timeline, yada, yada, yada. So, that's awesome. A provocation to war. Ooh, I love that zoom in, and I guess now we're going to be Jara. Rydek.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador.
Let's focus on the future, or we
Most
need your experience.
diplomatic
Let's do
choice
that.
words.
We need your experience.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
Yeah.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed. And the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
Okay, we have to make these people...
Alydia and Hotari.
We have to be diplomats. Alydia and Hotari.
The Alydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago.
Okay.
This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Alydians have shared a mining operation there. The Alydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Alydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation.
Okay, the Hotari
The
requested.
details remain scant.
I would have thought the
Communications
Alydians would
between
have.
all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
How did this happen? Let's choose that option.
How is it the Hotari were able to turn the tables and take the mines against superior forces, especially after decades in this
That's
arrangement?
not what I meant by that.
Unclear.
I just wanted some background
the answer
info.
to that
But
question
okay.
may be the key to a new, lasting peace, and one that I hope we can uncover during these negotiations. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Alydian fleet if this escalates to open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
I agree with Solano. Peace.
That is correct.
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Alydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is
True.
an additional complicating factor.
But they
I should
did.
mention.
The Hotari want Federation
In the past,
mediation.
The Federation has relied on the Alydians as a source of dilithium.
In the past,
That certainly changes things.
but not now.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah.
Whoa.
and this is one of them.
We won't be trusted then.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
That's right.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
I don't know.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position.
Still a good point to bring
Given
up.
the Federation's involvement in the Alydium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
Well, of course.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Alydian fleet has had problems with it as well.
True.
This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct.
This
The energy
buys us.
anomalies around the Hotari systems
This
have
buys
been
us some
noted in the
time.
past.
Let's say that.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't,
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a
Yes.
strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
One thing I'll say about this game, it just keeps you going.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
There's like no time to pause or take a break. It just keeps moving and flowing, and you have to keep answering questions
Ambassador
and
Spock,
doing quick time
I'd
events.
like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
I am not a
convention,
diplomat, but I'm going
not
to
opposed.
say I'd be honored. You know, we're going to take this. We're going to be nice.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included, you are instrumental.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Oh boy. Like I said, game does not give you time to pause. We're right in it still. I want to see, however, how that affected our talking and communication there with Spock. But before we do that and get into that, hello everybody. I had never got to say, I hope you all are having a blessed day, and I'm drinking a hot coffee today as I play Star Trek Resurgence. Let me know what you were drinking down below. There is a question that I never really got an answer to yet, and that is, why is everybody a commander? Check this out. Commander Westbrook, Commander Ermont, even the doctor, she is a commander. Why is everybody a commander? Why are there so many commanders on my ship? Or on this ship? Why are there so many commander ranked people on here? I don't know. But I just noticed that when I played in the first video. Yeah, just like there's so many commanders on the ship. On the bridge, even. All right. Well, let's see what we have. Captain Solano still had misgivings about his orders being defied, but remained willing to place his trust in his first officer to live up to expectations. Spock noticed Jara's support of Captain Solano and her distinct perspective on the dynamics of the Hotari-Alydian conflict during the mission briefing. Ambassador Spock also noted Jara's humility when presented with her back-channel mission. So, yeah, I want to be humble. That was what I wanted to do there. And I guess everybody else is probably the same. Let's see what we have here. I talked to Spock with Carter, so let's see. Ambassador Spock was not terribly impressed by Carter's use of the tractor beam to rescue his shuttle. Uh-oh. And he was left with the distinct impression Carter is a team player. Well, that part is good, but what is this part? He was not impressed by Carter's use of the tractor beam to rescue the shuttle? I think I might have failed. So when I was moving those asteroids, I should have maybe done the one that was underneath the ship first. I don't know. One of those I might not have done too well. Maybe that's what they're talking about. So that kind of sucks. I don't want to be on the wrong foot here between Carter and Spock, but he was left with the distinct impression that I am a team player. So, okay, good. Yay. Yay me, team player. I'll go ahead and turn that music volume back on.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him.
Perfect Vulcan response.
Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with.
I want to do it. I'm enthusiastic.
The Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
Oh, I don't want to make her
I'll
mad.
take notes.
I don't want to make her
Then
jealous or anything like that, but
make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
I'm just trying to be enthusiastic.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
Yeah.
Even Chovak has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't
forget
what I was
it.
Thinking.
In an evil playthrough, I would say don't forget it.
You did the smart
But
thing.
here I'm going to do you don't owe me.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
I love that there's so many options I could choose to do in the future. Let's see how that affected. I'm just so curious now. Lieutenant Commander Chovak did not approve of Jara's willingness to follow protocol when she defied Captain Solano's orders to blow the bolts. Okay, we've already been there. Oh, I'm not under Carter, that's why. Huh. Etzler was reminded how much she values her friendship with Carter when she said she doesn't owe him anything for letting her go first in the hole. Ah. And Chovak says, Lieutenant Commander Chovak approved of Carter's eagerness to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle. Nice.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Oh, good. We're running diagnostics. I'm going to be great at this. Not.
know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up.
Okay.
Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms.
That won't happen.
That just isn't gonna work for me.
That's not gonna happen, okay? And why are you even going there? We haven't even gone on a date yet.
I just want you to know where I stand. I like my friends and I like our group.
Yeah, but
I don't want to lose that.
we're not going to lose that. We can have our own relationships.
Yeah, it's wrapping
We
up.
can have our own individual
See,
relationships.
Relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
If you say so. By the way, I'm a huge tech nerd. I love Star Trek tech and technology. So, yeah, you will see that I am very familiar with all the terminology in Star Trek. And so I've read the technical manuals. Let me just put it that way. I've read the technical manuals. You know, the TNG technical manual. I studied that when I was younger. I studied the technical manual. So I know a few things about this terminology and what all these things are. So that's, yeah, that's me going into this. Very excited for the technobabble part of this. Hey, I love Voyager. People call Voyager a technobabble show. I love it. That's me. I'm in it. Let's do it. Tap, control, move. All right. Data recorder.
Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Go forward more. Warning. Oh.
Subspace variance out of tolerance.
Subspace variance?
What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
Okay, let's try this one. Warp cascade failure.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation. The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look. Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
But it wasn't.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was a storm, right?
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Something about the warp
Then
bubble.
It's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked, or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other.
Dang.
It's not
I want to do both, but
one of these systems
I'm gonna
is
try.
likely broken.
I'm gonna try the navigation array. We're gonna start. No, I think it's related to the warp drive. I'm gonna do 2 warp coils.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
I don't think it's a cracked coil though. I really don't. I think it might be the navigation, but I want to do this because it's. I think the problems we're having are this ion storm causing trouble with warp bubbles or creating a warp field. That's my theory. Let's find out. Your tricorder can record and analyze data. Looking through it will reveal the unseen. Use 2 to equip or holster your tricorder and hold to scan glowing objects. You must be close to some objects to scan. Watch the frame of the screen to see if you are too far away. Resume. Use the tricorder to investigate Spock's shuttle. Okay, 2 tricorder. Whoa, okay. Oh, that is sweet. Alright, look, we can see the warp coils inside. That is awesome. Some objects you scan will activate a deep scan. During a deep scan, use Q and E to switch between different scan modes and search for glowing objects. The mode indicators on the tricorder will blink if there's an object to find in that mode. When you have scanned all the objects in the frame, will change color, hold the right mouse button to analyze the data and finish the scan. Okay. Okay, I'm in a deep scan mode. These are glowing. I see R for radiation, chemistry, bio. Static field in their standby state will correspond to the residual magnetic field. No deviations detected. Okay, I guess there's nothing here. Let's see, Q and E, does that? Yeah, okay, that changes stuff. Okay, I see. Polyurinated deposits, the leading coils show evidence of routine maintenance to repair microabrasion from neutrino interactions. So some kind of neutrino problem, maybe. The center coils guide the warp field through its focal event, maintaining a limited thrust vector. No fractures detected. And then that one had nothing. Okay, I gotta do the other side though.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Well, it could check the other side.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
So, no problems with the navigation array, no problems with the warp coils, but we didn't check the other warp coils, but okay, sure, whatever.
Hey.
I'm not here.
I like that.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now.
Always time for you, baby.
Interesting ride down to the surface.
Come on, I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No, but I am glad you came by.
No, that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Oh, gotta be.
Yeah.
I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
I like a good train model. Nothing wrong with that. I used to put train models together.
I do have to go. Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
I'm gonna give her a kiss. No,
More important things on my mind.
We're professionals. We don't do this in public necessarily. Come back safe.
Do me a favor. Come back safe.
Deal.
We're on a mission. We're both doing missions. Kissing is a thing we would do while we're off, not on duty is what I'm trying to say. We're on duty right now, so we don't do that while we're on duty, obviously. We're Starfleet. We'll do that off duty. I'm a professional. I am a professional.
Etzelar to Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it.
Oh, well, we're taking it apart.
Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
Oh, good. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh, I do that. Oh, cool.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton rivers for days.
I thought it's dealing with the warp
with
field.
The momentary
I said that.
subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
D.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
The equation,
right there.
the warp field equation,
the shuttle sensor data from that moment
died.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2.
It's when we get to a certain warp speed.
3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
Wow. This is really
the same moment
technical.
When the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
Right. So we can't
leave Hotari space.
We can't warp out. Well, I guess we could very slowly. Warp 1.1, we'd probably be safe. So my question is this something the Hotari did? Is this the Hotari? Is it something the Alydians did? Or is this a third entity we don't know about? And what's causing this subspace collapse? Field collapse? Bubble. Warp bubble collapse. I love the technical part of this, though. Seat of power. Okay, we're on a planet. I guess we're on the Hotari planet?
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano. Welcome to Hotari.
Yeah.
We are honored you've come.
They're the ones that called
My
us
name is Hotari,
for the mediation. Tylus Hotari.
The honor is ours. And this is Commander Jara Rydek, first officer aboard the U.S.S. Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the
We are
Hotari
honored to
and
be
the
here.
Alydians.
Let's do that. We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation, the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe.
Uh-oh.
Whether that's true or not remains to be seen.
They may just want us to fight for them.
We're
I don't know.
grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
We're not here to fight for them.
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Well, that's an angry look. Oh, good. The Alydians? And they're not happy.
Last time we ever have to come here.
Okay. That tells me a lot about them right now.
Excuse me.
They are a-holes. They're elite. They feel like they're elites, probably because of their technology.
I think we're about to begin.
They feel superior. I'm getting that right off the bat. Look at their stature. Look how they're standing.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy?
The arrogance? Yeah.
I don't know what we're walking into here. But that guy was something.
Let's keep an open mind, although I think I was
That may be true.
He's arrogant,
But let's keep an open mind going into the negotiations. Hopefully he's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The
But-
Hotari have invited us as their guests. so we must show them the proper respect.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. But I don't think he's going to be a unique one out of all of them. I think they're all going to be stuck up. That's what they seem like to me already. It's a cool background, though. Look where we are. This unique area, unique planet. Never seen this civilization before. This is new. New architecture. New aliens. Show show strength. Show. Ooh. Let's show strength. Right. I was in the Dominion War. She might not have liked that, but whatever. I'm a tactical officer from the Dominion War.
Welcome to Hotari Prime.
That's how I'm going to kind of be for a little bit.
Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
It says evaluate the arguments. So we got to pay attention here, everybody.
With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule.
I'm not here to rule.
Or yours.
Well, I'm not here to rule.
We demand the
We're here to
immediate
mediate.
return of all mining operations to Alydian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this
Well,
matter?
didn't you guys invite us here?
Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
Exactly.
For now.
We're mediators.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy.
They can probably hear us.
They wanted us here.
Not now.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
Let's listen to him. We're
And
not.
what about the code?
We need to be careful here.
She's not
She
part
can
of...
speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
We need to be very respectful. We need to stay very neutral on this. We got to walk a very fine line here, so that's what I'm trying to do. The captain did not need to speak up right now. They could probably hear us. So let's be careful there, Captain. Show a little more professionalism. Thank you.
One should know
That's my
their
thoughts.
place. What you might be somewhere else is not what you are here. Which is standing before a queen. And a queen deserves respect.
Yes and no.
A bow is not too much to ask.
Should I bow, guys?
Is Hotari Prime, heart of the Hotari system.
My name is not Kobliad.
My name is Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty. I prefer to be called by my name, not my species.
Then I suppose that makes us even. Commander.
Ooh,
Rydek.
I think she liked that.
You are Kobliad. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians.
Ooh, that's good background
Their
info.
injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alydians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alydians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet!
That's also a good point. Shouldn't just terrorize
If
people.
after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong. To get out from under their control.
Yeah, but you don't do that by doing the same things that they're doing. You know what I mean?
Or would you negotiate a peace?
I would negotiate a peace. I would seek peace. Or I can't speculate on that. Oh, crap. 2 or 3. I would seek peace. Crap.
There is no remedy. for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become
That's
the
what I'm trying to
oppressor.
say. Right.
So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
Yes. Spock liked it.
Perhaps, Commander Rydek. Perhaps.
I think she's okay with that.
Unfortunately, that was not the case.
But it wasn't for me or our character, but it can be for them.
It was not.
I don't know.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
But that's not why we're here.
Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here?
I
want the truth.
We only want peace.
Not
it is.
Your Federation rhetoric.
It's not my place to say.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but it's really not my place to say what the Federation's interests might be.
You are their representative.
I am. But Ambassador Spock is better suited to address your concerns.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alydian.
Maybe I should have said we want peace. Dang, I don't know.
We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially
these
the
choices
Hotari.
are hard.
We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies. The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries.
Calm down, everybody.
So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alydians?
Don't make me choose. You've got to, and that's a fast one too.
Only be one or the other, not both.
The Hotari. I'm going with the Hotari. They're the underdogs, and that's why.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Alydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I didn't like having to choose.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
Boy, I did not like having to make that choice. Like, seriously, I don't actually know who I stand with here. I don't want to stand with either one. I want to stay neutral. I want to help them have peace. So I don't know. That was a real tough decision to make, going to be honest.
I hope we meet again, Jara Rydek.
Ah, boy. She's more willing to talk, though, than the Alydian, I think. She definitely had a more one-on-one conversation with me, and she understands my history, my species, the problems with Cardassians.
Everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened to those mines?
Maybe they found something, some kind of artifact, something that makes them a little more powerful or less dependent. Wait a minute. I had a thought. Speak with each member. I had a thought. What if they found something in the mines that's causing this ionic storm and causing the disturbance of the warp fields? And they're doing that, and that gives them a leg up. That gives them power to then go against the Alydians, right? And maybe make a power move. Maybe this is a power move on their part to push forward farther out. And ooh, that could be a bad thing then. What if they are tyrants and want to use that power for that? Or maybe they're just using that power to get back at the Alydians. Either way, oof. But so that could be bad siding with them then. Maybe they're wrong to side with. But yet, the Alydians, they kind of seem stuck up, but they make good points too. Oh my gosh, this story is incredible. I can go back in the Queen's chamber.
The captain and ambassador have it handled.
Oh.
I've got my own mission.
That's where they are. All right, I'm going to read, let's read some stuff here. So we're Jara. Captain Solano thought Jara handled a complex situation as well as could be expected when the Hotari Queen put her on the spot. That's right, I was put on the spot. Ambassador Spock thought Jara performed well under pressure when she was being questioned by the Queen. Well, thank you, Spock. Is the Queen on here? Look, the Queen is not on here, so that's interesting. I thought I was going to have, like, some stuff with the Queen being here, but she's not. Doesn't matter what she thinks of me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it does. Huh, new location. This is really cool. Appreciate the water.
Soothing.
I appreciate the water. Water has been appreciated. Mission success. Nice view up here in the sky.
Such rough terrain. No wonder the Hotari are so tough.
They got a tough planet. Okay, let's talk to a Hotari soldier.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari.
No, I didn't choose to side.
I knew the Federation would see through the Alydians' baseless.
I'm not on either side. Gotta reinforce that. Gotta reinforce it.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
I will keep that in mind.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Alydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive.
Let's see.
Before the Alydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Don't you fear retaliation?
I'm curious why the Alydians haven't fought back. They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing. Courage is another. The Alydians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship.
No, it's a science vessel.
Ready to contend with anything the Alydians might have in store.
We're not here to fight. That's what they want.
Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged.
I'm going to say it's a science vessel. I'm just going to be honest with them.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed for war.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
Ah.
I see.
Thank you for the distinction. Something they managed to screw up in some other recent Star Trek shows.
I'm sure we'll cross paths
again. Discovery. Not understanding what Starfleet and Federation actually mean. Excuse me. I had a frog in my throat.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope you're not the only one who feels that way.
I apologize for that. These are unusual times, to say the least. Much is changing. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse. Depending on your perspective.
You don't trust them?
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Alydians will launch an attack and crush us.
Well, they could. Why haven't they?
They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still
Galvin,
the
the Federation.
You would expect from them.
Galvin?
That it has no teeth. Like they're afraid.
Dang, or the Federation or the Ion Storm. Galvin.
Because of what happened in the mines. Is it Galvin they're afraid of?
It's entirely possible. But I don't know for sure.
I don't think they're
Whatever
afraid of the
Galvin is doing in
Federation.
those mines is turning everything
They don't care
upside
about the
down.
Federation.
No one knows exactly what's happening.
I don't think they're worried about the Ion Storm either.
Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access.
Might be Galvin.
No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
There. See, I said it. I said it.
But everyone pretends it doesn't exist.
What is it?
I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
That's what I thought. I said that.
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact.
I said that. Did I not say artifact? It's always an artifact in Star Trek. Always an artifact. Some artifact. Somebody found and activated, and something happened.
I better see what's happening.
Didn't that happen in Star Trek Elite Force?
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding?
One of them.
I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the
It was
Federation.
either Elite Force 1 or 2, but some ancient thing they turned on. It's been a while since I played the games.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
But it's always an artifact. Okay, she's got a tricorder.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
So, tricorder, she can do some scans for us and find out what's happening. That was pretty sneaky. I like that.
I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know.
He doesn't seem so
negotiations rely
weird.
on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me.
We're not siding. We're just trying to get answers.
Without Alydian involvement, there is no dilithium
We
trade.
remain neutral.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price? Major Salit Arminta, Special Attaché, Alydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander.
I was gonna talk to them.
I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told.
You
Of
sound
course,
skeptical. I don't buy it.
But who am I to say otherwise?
What really happened? I'm doing this to try to get background info. What really happened?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt.
Right.
How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines?
I know the storm is
People
involved.
who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
That helps explain it.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
The artifact.
You tell me.
Obviously, the artifact.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Rydek.
Report your findings to Captain Solano. Alright, let's see. I guess we don't stand with anyone. We haven't talked to anybody except the aliens here, so nobody there to catch up on. So I guess we'll head back in and talk to Captain Solano and update him on what we have found out about an artifact. And, oh look, I can inspect a banner. Let's do that. And
they seem proud of their
ion
creature.
storm.
Pride can lead to rash action.
Nice. Alright, I have done all the activities I can do here. I think that's where we're going to end it today, everybody. I am highly enjoying this game. This is a lot of fun, and this is a very compelling story, and boy, do we have to make diplomatic decisions here, which are pretty involved, and what is the right answer, right? Who is right, who is wrong? Even though I have sided with the Hotari a little bit here, maybe that is wrong, because it sounds like maybe they have found an artifact and are using that to strike a revolt against the Alydians. So maybe they are in the wrong. Maybe I need to try to steer my character to be a little more neutral in these discussions, although it did make me have to choose Hotari or Alydian. It made me have to put me on the spot to do that, and I did not like that. Because, I mean, in that moment, how did I know any of this then? I didn't, so how could I don't know. I just went with the Hotari there because the Queen was like, you know, having this one-on-one with me, and we were kind of connecting, and they seemed to me at the time the underdogs. Now I don't think so much anymore. So that's interesting, and I cannot wait to see where this goes. It's going to be very exciting. And also, I think the storyline with Carter is very interesting as well. We'll see where all that stuff goes there. We learned some new interaction techniques. We learned how to use a tricorder. I think that's going to be a useful thing. Can I bring it out here? No, I can't use a tricorder here. So that's going to be a useful thing in the future. We'll get to use a little bit more of. But I'm really enjoying this. Star Trek Resurgence, extremely fun. I'm babbling now. I'm going to end this. And I'm looking forward to the next video and getting to play this again. So thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of this gameplay and my choices so far, and what choices would you have made different. And tell me, who did you side with if you've played this? Who did you side with, Hotari or Alydians? And who would you have if you haven't played this? What would have been your choice? I'd like to know. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned below. Or stay tuned for the next one. Stay tuned below. Stay tuned for the next one.